Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here from ablogtoread.com. This is an interesting and very rare type of watch, at least for me. This is a Longio watch, that's the brand. It's a Chinese brand. It's located, I believe, either in or near Hong Kong. And Longio is a company that was making OEM watches, meaning sort of original equipment manufacturer watches. So basically the parts where other people put their names on it, and they finally decided, let's make our own watch brand. Now there's a lot of different perceptions out there over Chinese watches, and I've recently seen a couple of watches that make me really appreciate and respect what they're doing, and having something like this really solidifies in my mind that Chinese watches are actually pretty nice. And there's something very special about this particular watch that I want to get to in just a second. The model of this is the SG3824E. Yeah, they need to get a better name for it, but I'm just going to call it the Longio Automatic. I'll start with the movement. The movement is a Chinese-made movement, and it's a copy of the Swiss ETA 2824. And you know, they can totally do this. There's no patents on the 2824 any longer. And you know, a lot of people make copies of the movement. It's a lot of people know the 2824. It's a very robust movement. What impresses me is how well they were able to replicate it. Oftentimes, I've seen 2824s that haven't done weren't particularly good, kind of rough, hard to set. This one feels exactly like any Swiss one, and I have to say it's actually been quite accurate. I'm very happy to say that. If you look at the case is made out of a couple of parts, and you look online on my site, you'll be able to see a diagram. Very nice sort of horizontal lines, polished on the outside, different type of finish on the inside, nice engraved logo on the crown there, really good polish. There's a brushed finish sort of on the bezel here, sapphire crystal. And when you look at the dial, you see the outer ring there, all mother of pearl with Arabic numerals. The inner dial is textured. The hands are very nicely polished Dauphine style types of hands, and they really stand out well. They're covered with lume. Nice leather, black leather strap, which has the sort of, you know, reptile embossed type of print on there. And the watch is large. I think that this, you'll have to check my site, but I think the size is about 46 millimeters. But you know, I don't have the largest wrist, and it looks pretty okay. It's definitely a standout watch, and you tend to think of watches made for the Asian market being smaller, because it is true that a lot of Asian consumers prefer smaller watches. This is definitely not one of them. What I was saying that was special about this watch is, what's important is that not only is it a Chinese-made watch, but it's a Chinese-made watch with Chinese character. Most of the watches you see coming out of China are copies of popular watches that are made from other brands. This watch is the first one that I've really seen, which is a respectable watch, which has regional character and regional design. You really don't see that. You know, when I first looked at this watch, I was thinking, where have I seen that before? And there are elements, of course, such as the hands and certain things that are taken, you know, from popular designs that are all over the place. But taken together with the case, the shape, the hands, the dial, everything, it's unique. I haven't seen anything like it before. And I really applaud Longio for taking that extra step of being courageous enough to release their own design. Price for this watch is under $700, so it's a little bit more expensive than you might think from a Chinese watch, but I've been very happy with it. Quality is pretty good, and I really don't have any complaints. If you like the look, it's interesting. Longio also makes tourbillon watches, real tourbillon watches, and they're Chinese ones. And those, the prices start at about $3,600, and they go up to a lot higher, but averaging about, you know, $4,000 to $7,000 for their tourbillon watches, and that's pretty interesting. You know, I'd like to get my hands on one of those. So again, this is Longio Automatic, pretty interesting. You can see the full review on ablogtoread.com. Thanks.